The evolution of the Life Uncontained channel. Can you build a self-sustaining home, have it completely off the grid, and do all this with no construction experience under your belt? Do-it-yourself style? On March 1st, 2018, Mackenzie and Spenser sold their home, their car, quit their jobs, and decided to use the money they saved originally to buy their dream home in pursuit of their actual dream. They moved to Texas and went about building their very own home, starting with 2 large shipping containers. Only this time, the containers had an ambitious future stored within. Welcome to Info Junkie TV. In today's video, we will be looking into the evolution of Life Uncontained and how they started their journey. But before we begin, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for your chance to win our monthly shoutout giveaway. Just comment down below "I subbed" and you will be entered into the giveaway. Let's start our trip. So, what is Life Uncontained? If you are living off the grid yourself, maybe you don't know what the hype for Life Uncontained is all about. Well, I'm here to tell you, the hype is really well-deserved. In 2018, Mackenzie and Spenser launched a YouTube channel to share and document the construction of their own dream home and the long journey to make that home self-sustaining. According to the power couple, they were inspired by their road trips, the hippies, and the infamous alien we all know, Elon Musk. They then moved from Florida to Texas and proceeded to build the home of their dreams, inspiring all of us in the process and including us in their brave journey. Now, make no mistake, this required a lot of moxie. They had never done anything like this before, and couple that with the scale they were aiming for. Someone said to Mackenzie and Spenser, "Go hard or go home." So they went hard and built a home, double or nothing for Spenser and Mackenzie. How did their journey start? Our story's protagonists used to work in the food industry, so they had zero experience in construction. One great thing about their channel is how documentary it is in nature. The video gives a feeling of progress, and if you're following closely, you begin to see the results, and it's honestly quite inspiring. The fact that they just sold everything and moved into the middle of nowhere to build a home out of containers tells you a lot about them, probably more than words can express. But to think that their reasoning behind it all was if we don't do it now, we might come to regret it later, sends a pretty strong message. You can guess their motto by now, but just to hammer the point home, never turn back has been the mantra of this spectacular undertaking. As challenging as it was, make no mistake, this is purely a labor of love, and it shows. But it was difficult. Reality can sometimes hit you pretty hard if you stop and think for a bit too long. In one of their videos, Mackenzie said that when the moving truck that had their stuff arrived, she found herself crying at the daunting task that was ahead of them. She knew what the plan was, but it was a whole other deal when that truck showed up. The reality check was a hard blow, but it did not and will not affect her determination. No regrets in the pursuit of big dreams. For his part, Spenser planned for them to stay in one poorly designed barn, as he put it, and had it repurposed to be a temporary home, which was better than the laughable original idea to move into a 3-bedroom tent in the middle of nowhere. The barn had to suffice as a roof over their head for now, and for their dog too. Yeah, I forgot to mention it. They have a pretty adorable dog. Oh, and a toddler with another baby on the way. The family grew over the years. It's the circle of life. Man, I love that song. Cute babies and canines aside, they began laying the foundations for their container home. A sturdy set of concrete piers would carry the weight of their dream. Then, it was the roof's turn. This wasn't easy, but they kept going. They knew it'd be worth it. It is said that you make a house into a home when you pour love into it. This surely was a house constructed with love at its very foundations. It was already a home. And I think that went a long way with helping them conquer the challenges they faced. And there were plenty. Considering the material of the container, they had to sand it in order to prepare it for painting later. And no house would be complete without windows and doors now, would it? So they cut through the containers and started working on those. But not before installing electricity and preparing some storage space. As steep as the learning curve was, they both soldiered on, learning and growing together just as their house evolved and changed. By their own hands, yeah, and this was entirely their own magic. Absolutely 100% their own. After a hard journey, the transformation was complete. The end result did indeed look like a home, but even then it wasn't over. Now our protagonists needed to shift their collective focus into the house's interior, which covers the frames, walls, insulation, and, of course, floors and ceilings. You can't have the inside of your home look like a container now, can you? You'd think that building a house out of 2 containers was big enough a feat, but as we've seen earlier, Spenser and Mackenzie, they go hard. So it came to them that they now needed to worry about how they can sustain their house. After all, living off the grid means being completely self-reliant. They were bold enough to build a house, but were they resourceful enough to make it sustainable? Now, to make your house sustainable in this day and age, you require a couple of basic things: water, both to drink and for the plumbing, and some form of energy. Most of the urban communities use electricity for this, for appliances and all that jazz. So you're in the middle of nowhere. You've built a house from nothing but 2 containers. What will you do? Spenser and Mackenzie took off their builder hats and put on their thinking caps. They brainstormed, and sticking to the theme of their adventure, they decided to make use of the already existing materials. They got their hands on a large container to collect rainwater in, which solved their water source issue, and they installed several solar panels, which is an eco-friendly way to generate an infinite amount of energy. Our heroes are not just determined, they're also environmentally aware. Feeling inspired? Why don't you pay it forward and inspire us to make more content? Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You can choose to be notified about certain videos or to be notified whenever we post anything new. Now, you might be wondering, it's a curious choice though, isn't it? A house built from ship containers. Where did that idea even come from? When asked about it, Spenser and Mackenzie said they were inspired by the different unconventional guest houses they stayed in during a road trip they'd taken. And since then, they came up with the brilliant idea to use shipping containers as the basis for their home. That way, they could save money, protect the planet, which is always a great bonus, and reach remarkable success with their plan to build the dream home. By the time they were done, these 2 containers turned into a home for them, their baby, and their dog. It's all so wholesome, really. But with all the milk and cookies out of the way, let's talk meat and potatoes. Let's talk money. Life's uncontained net worth. Time is money, my friend, and this labor of love doubled as an investment almost as much as it is a dream. It's true, you can't put a price tag on a real home, but when getting into YouTube and social media in general, one is usually curious about the financial aspect of it all, particularly the gains. When trying to answer the question of a YouTuber's net worth, we turn to their subscriber data. This can help us get an estimate of that net worth. So, Life Uncontained is run by the couple Spenser and Mackenzie, and they joined YouTube in 2017. It's considered to be one of YouTube's most popular channels, having over 1 million subscribers, with an estimated net worth of $680,000 at least. But some birds sing that their net worth might be a lot more than that, if one considers other sources of income. And by a lot, I mean it could be closer to $952,000. That's all well and good, but how about their earnings? How much do Spenser and Mackenzie earn from their channel? As we said earlier, the channel hit its 1 million subscribers milestone in 2020, with over 170 million views on their channel. We can estimate that it can gain 350,000 views from multiple sources. The projected revenue in the form of ads shown should be around $170,000 a year, or alternatively $11,000 a month. While this might be discounting, other sources of income like sponsors or speaking gigs play a tremendous role in their paycheck. So, one can optimistically say that the channel makes about $306,000 a year. Well, that's all we have for you today, folks. Did you enjoy the trip? Give it a thumbs up. Tell us in the comments what you'd like to see us cover next. Hit the subscribe button so you can get notified about our new videos. See you for the next run, Infomaniacs, and thanks again for watching Info Junkie TV. See you next time.